in this subject we will study the computer network. Computer network was first invented in 1960s. It was started in 1960s, and the first network was invented in 1961, that is ARPANET. The main objective of this course is just to understand how the two computers are connecting over the internet, or how the two computers in the internet talk to each other. In the coming lectures, we will understand the basic functionalities of computer network. We will learn how to program the network, and we will also learn what are the future of computer network. Because when it was invented in 1960, that time that was only used to connect the two nodes. Okay, and now each and every user is connected over the internet. So network architecture is basically the functionalities, what are the functions you required over the network, and to achieve these functionality, what are the protocols. We have to set the protocols, we have to design the protocols to achieve these functionalities or to achieve these services. So if we see the network architecture, we are basically using the network protocol stack. Based on the network protocol stack, the two remote computers are basically talking to each other. Look at this diagram. Only the two nodes are connected to each other via wire. So there is only a one cable requirement, one physical link is required to connect the two nodes, through which we can communicate both the. Okay, so there is a one medium only. That medium is a physical medium. And we know that computer only understands the zeros and ones. So what? So we want to convert the digital data to analog signal or analog signal to voice signal. ना vice versa. So physical medium की जितनी भी हमारी requirement है वो हमारी क्या हो जाएंगी? We have to understand how the analog to digital is converted and how digital to analog is converted. So this is the basic functionality when we are simply using the wired connection. Now look at this diagram. When we are connecting three nodes to each other, we need one more additional device, because each computer is having a one port, so you cannot connect more than one node to each other. So we need some connecting device when we are connecting more number of computers. What this connecting device is? This connecting device is basically a switch, and we have added the one more layer to the network. Yeah? So that one more layer is basically, the function of this one more layer is to ensure the proper scheduling in the medium access. Suppose A ने C को कोई पैकेट ट्रांसमिट किया, and at the same time the same size packet is transmitted via B also. So अगर A भी पैकेट भेज रहा है C को, B भी पैकेट भेज रहा है C को, तो मे भी बीच में कहीं पर कोलिजन हो जाएगा, है ना? कहीं पर तो बीच में टकराएंगे दोनों पैकेट्स. So we ensure the proper scheduling when we are using a switch, or we are adding one more layer. अगर आप इस वाले इसमें देखो, there is only two nodes. Well, let us say one is a A and another is a B. So if A is sending to B or B is sending to A, then it's okay. But there can be a issue. हो सकता है A और B दोनों एक साथ आपस में एक दूसरे को पैकेट भेजें, तो पैकेट आपका क्या हो जाएगा? मीडियम में कोलाइड हो जाएगा. सो शेड्यूलिंग इज ऑल्सो रिक्वायर्ड. जब भी आप एक सिंगल केबल पर कोई पैकेट ट्रांसमिट करते हो, सो देयर इज अ कैरियर सेंस. एट अ टाइम ओनली वन नोड विल सेंड अ पैकेट. व्हेन वी आर एडिंग वन मोर डिवाइस, so that work is being done or handled by the switch. So proper scheduling is the main requirement in the data link layer. What happened when we are adding more number of computers? So look at this, we have three networks. Okay? These three networks are basically connected by a switch, and these switches, if you see the two diagrams, this one and this one, here both of these are connected via router. So here we are basically connecting the switches. These two switches are connected to each other via router. These two switches are connected via router. So when we are connecting more number of networks, we are adding one more layer, and that layer is a network layer. So what is the requirement of network layer? that additional device is basically a router, and the work of router is to find out a suitable path to forward the data from one network to another network. So here we have connected three network N1, N2, N3 via the three routers. Clear? Now look at this diagram. What happened when we are connecting more number of networks to each other via router? So there will be a transport problem, isn't it? So one more transport layer is added to ensure and to handle the traffic control. So that end-to-end traffic control in the network is being handled by the transport layer. So that is a one more additional layer which is added when we are extending the network. And through the internet, we are globally connected to each other. Okay. So the transport layer protocol also required to handle the traffic control. And all these combinations basically make the network protocol stack, and this is called the network architecture. This we call the OSI layer, Open System Interconnection layer, or the TCP/IP layer, Transmission Control Protocol, Internet Protocol, which are 5 layers: physical, data link layer, network, transport, application. Earlier in the OSI layer, we have 7-layered architecture. I will explain in the coming lectures, and why we have moved from OSI layer to TCP/IP layer, what is the difference. So we will all explain in the next coming lectures. And all the series of these lectures will be research oriented. You will be find very depth or very depth and research oriented knowledge inside all these video lectures. What happened when the data transferred between two remote machines? Suppose there is a source from network 1 and there is a destination from network 2. How the data is being transferred? What will be the proper mechanism? Because both the two networks are, both the two machines are remote machines, but they are connected via network. So if you look at this diagram, here these nodes are connected with a switch and then router. Again, in this network they are connected with the switch and the switch is connected via router. So to connect source and destination, you have two different routes. Either you go via this route or you can go via this route. Okay. So there is data transfer between two modes is done. That node is sending packet to switch. Switch is again sending to router. Router is sending to the next switch, and then switch is sending to router. So at the switch level, we know in the previous slide that we have physical and data link layer. And at the router, we know that there is a physical, data link and network layer. So 3 protocols are working on it. And similar in the switch of the other network, the physical and data link layer. So we will understand how. So I think this will be very much clear to all of you. These are the certain protocols which are working on each and every layer. At data link layer, at the physical layer, you know that there are encoding techniques, line coding techniques, analog to digital conversion, digital to analog conversion. So these all methods are there. At the data link layer, for wired connection we use Ethernet, and otherwise for wireless connection we are using Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, UMTS and LTE. I will explain all these one by one in all the coming next lectures. At the network layer, we have IP addresses, IPv4, IPv6, MPLS. At the transport layer, we have TCP/IP, UDP and RTP protocol. And at the application layer, we have HTTP, FTP and SMTP. Today I am not explaining all these terms, just to create a curiosity to you to just understand what is the full form, how these protocols are basically works. Fine. So these are the different protocols at the different layers. And in between the layers, there is a network management and control, or there is a cross layer protocols. ये बहुत अच्छी समझने वाली चीज़ है कि डेटा लिंक लेयर और नेटवर्क लेयर के बीच में हमारे जो क्रॉस लेयर प्रोटोकॉल्स हैं वो कौन से हैं. ये वाइवा में या इंटरव्यू में बहुत पूछे जाते हैं वाले क्वेश्चन, दैट ARP एंड DHCP इज विच लेयर प्रोटोकॉल. So sometime when you say it is a data link layer protocol, you are wrong. It is a network layer protocol, you are wrong. Because it is a cross layer protocol which works on both the layers, which have a functionality of both. So ARP, DHCP, SNMP, DNS, they are the cross layer protocols. There is two way to learn the computer network. ठीक है, बहुत सारी अब स्टूडेंट्स को ये समझ में नहीं आता कि फर्स्ट लेयर इज फिजिकल लेयर और एप्लीकेशन लेयर, और एप्लीकेशन लेयर टू फिजिकल लेयर. See, when you are a sender and when you are using a device, at that time you are using application to physical. आपने application को use करोगे, then you are moving your ठीक है, and at the receiver side it is vice versa. So you can understand in both the way. That doesn't matter. So there are some books which you can follow to deeply understand. I will also explain from also these books only. I least concerned with the online lectures, online available lectures. However, I am also creating, but I am using the standard books to create these topics. So just to understand the computer network, a top-down approach book from the Groves and Rose is there. There is a one famous book of computer network, Andrew S. Tannenbaum, that you can also follow. One more book that is a TCP/IP tutorial and technical overview that you can follow. And these are the some internet resources. You must go through with these when you at least watch my 10 to 20 videos. After that you will be able to understand all these things. And this is a one available video of history of internet. I request all the viewers just to watch this video. This is a very interesting, the history of internet, how the internet is being invented. So thank you. We will meet in the next lecture.